Oh, I'd love Oprah to win. I'd love to beat Oprah. I know her weakness. No, I know her weakness. I know her. You know, I know her very well. I was on her last show, or one of the last, I guess the last week. She had Donald Trump and Donald Trump's family. My, we've come down a long way, haven't we? I'm now president, and probably, you know. But think of it. I know her weakness. Wouldn't we love to run against Oprah? I would love it. I would love it. That would be a painful experience for her.
President Trump not holding back tonight on any topic, giving a rip-roaring speech at a rally in Pennsylvania. Here with reaction, former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer joins me live. All right, Sean, what do you think of the Oprah comment?
He's in his element tonight, and I think that's what's important. It's the same kind of momentum and energy that won him the election. He did very well in that portion of Pennsylvania, the 18th Congressional District, where Rick Saccone is facing off next week on Tuesday. And by firing up those people and reminding him not only what's at stake, but what he's done and what he's going to do, he provided the energy tonight that's going to put Rick over the top, I think, come Tuesday.
Yeah, well, they say it's a tight race now, correct?
Yeah. I think it is going to be a tight race. It's all going to be about turnout. And that's why it's so important that the president was there, because that base of his is so solid that when he goes out and says, I need this guy there to continue to do all of the things that I'm doing, and he's doing a ton, from the regulatory stuff to the economy. He mentioned South Korea, the stuff he's doing on steel and tariffs. It's so important to that area of Pennsylvania in particular. And it's important that they understand what a partner he needs in the Congress from Pennsylvania. So him getting out there, getting back into his element, reminding the crowd what's at stake, why he needs Rick's vote in Congress is crucial heading into these final hours.
Well, and you know what's interesting, Sean, is, and you were on the campaign trail with him, obviously. I mean, he can still draw that crowd. I mean, he hangs on to them. You know that he could get through that speech in 30 minutes, but he milks it. He makes sure that they get their money's worth. And obviously there's no money, but that they wait in line for hours, and he's not going to let them leave disappointed. But there's another sound I want you to listen to, imagining if he didn't win. Let's take a listen.
Don't win the election, their ratings are going to go so far down, they're going to be out of business, every one of them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine covering Bernie or Pocahontas? Pocahontas, how about that? Pocahontas. Can you imagine these guys? Some of them are actually smiling, but some of them just can't stand it, honestly. Some of them, they can't take it. Can you imagine having to cover Elizabeth Warren for 4 years?
He's not afraid of anybody, but go ahead, Sean. What's your take on that?
Well, I think there's a few things there. I mean, he's absolutely right when it comes to the ratings. Everybody admits it. It was funny. There was an interview with some of the late night show hosts the other day, and they said, you know, our monologues and our jokes used to always be about the news. But Donald Trump is the news now. He's the first, second, third, fourth segment on every show. So part of the reason that the late night shows are all about Donald Trump is because the news is all about Donald Trump. The thing that I think is fascinating is that they focus more about process and chaos and less about the achievements. You think about Friday, Judge, 313 jobs. The expectation was supposed to be for 200,000.
Oh, last
313.
Month, right.
That's 113,000 more Americans that have a job, largely because of the tax cuts and the regulations that this president's done. And we're only 14 months in.
Yeah.
At some point, the press is going to have a hard time making excuses for not covering the accomplishments of the president.
And you know, Sean, I think it was in the New York Times today that I was reading, and it almost begrudgingly said, and it looks like it's going to continue going higher, you know, that there'll be more jobs. It was like they were upset about it. But I want to ask you something. You know, they talk about chaos in the White House, right? You're in the West Wing, and they say it's a disaster. Nobody knows what's going on, that this one left and that one left. What's it like when Donald Trump is in the West Wing? Is there any question about who's in charge and what the agenda is?
No. Not to mention that, look, the thing that I find fascinating about this whole discussion is that as a voter and as an American, here's what I care about, is results. I care about whether more Americans are working, whether or not they're getting higher wages, whether or not our borders are safe, the flow of illegal immigration is down, whether or not ISIS is on the run, whether or not businesses and manufacturing is coming back and businesses are thriving. All of those metrics are moving in the right direction. I will tell you that I will take chaos and whatever else they throw our way if we continue to have results. Because at the end of the day, you don't want boring and no results. What this president's giving us is, yeah, he's mixing it up. He's not satisfied with the status quo. But the bigger point, Jeanine, and this gets largely missed, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and he's behaving exactly how he has before. He's a disruptor who likes to bring people in, fight it out, get the best idea, and charge forward. He's doing everything he said he was going to do and getting results.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. And the outrageous statements of the week are still ahead, and we've got some real beauties tonight. And next, it's a star-studded panel ready to do battle. Katrina Pearson and Richard Fowler ready to weigh in on the Trump speech. Justice rolls on in a moment.